Hi, so this is Derek, Skerries Rock Art, and here we are in the workshop on a raining Monday night. Now, what we're going to do today is we're going to repair some holes in this little concrete planter. Now, when you pour concrete, you're going to get holes and little air bubbles and that sort of imperfections. To be honest, this one surprised me because I'm usually quite diligent and I don't usually get air bubbles, and there's a few reasons for that. What I like to do is I dry mix everything first thoroughly. I usually spray the inside of the mold with some water, which creates a like a surface tension, which pulls the material, in this case it's concrete, which pulls it into the features. So in this case, I'm not actually sure what happened. There could have been a couple of pieces that were still dry when they went into the mold, that they weren't mixed properly. This is the most likely, given the size of them and the fact that we don't have a load of bubbles um, distributed throughout it. They're just there in the front, which is basically the last place we want them to be, because look at her pretty face. Yeah. So what we're going to do, very simply, is we're going to fill these holes in. And I have here's what I made earlier. This is just some ordinary grey cement, dry. I'm going to add a little bit of water. This is it's flat carbonated water, but that doesn't matter. Don't waste water. Don't waste water. You never know when you might need it. Okay, so I'm just going to mix it. I want it to be a paste, more or less. Now, I've added too much to most of the mixture, too much water. I've added too much water, so it's not going to go on the way I want. Now, I'm not going to go and get more cement because I've already mixed up probably more than I need. So this is it, you see, I never measure anything really. So I'm going to work with this, and what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to just put a little bit of this cement. It's cement and water, just like that. I'm just going to put it onto my finger, and I'm going to work it. So we have the lip here. It's probably the most noticeable of the holes. So I'm going to wipe it in the contour into the hole, and I'm going to wipe my finger around the contour of the lip. And if you look, you'll see that's more or less repaired the hole already. Very, very easy. There's a hole in the side of the nose. I'm going to put some of the material in. I'm going to just work it in with my finger, and then I'm going to work my finger down the contour of the nose again. Look, so that's done. Almost all of the holes already. There's another little bit here, and I'm going to wipe off the excess now, because this will come off fairly easily as well when it's dried. But because this concrete is only is very new concrete, the repair job will stick to the bits that I wanted to stick to. Well, it's not going to ruin it or anything like that. But if you notice, there's a nice finish on this concrete on the exterior of it, so I don't want to. I don't necessarily want to have the cement stick into the outside of it. That's all. Now, going to take me a little bit more. There's a bit of a hole there at the side of the face. Stick me some in there and just wipe it off. Really, really easy. So the hole might just need a little bit more. We're going to push that in, smooth it off. And a little bit again. That was actually quite a deep one, but the hole is filled with the cement. And it really does make an excellent repair. Another little one here at the chin. under the chin. Put some cement in, wipe it. Look, she's done. Now you see there's a little bit of unevenness here with the chin, where the lip is. That's the hole is repaired. And I'm going to leave that to harden for a couple of days. So I just ran my fingernail along the line of the lips there to re-establish the line of the lip. And I'll just see while I have it here if there's any more. There's a small one there along the line of the hair. So very simply put it in, rub it with my finger, and quickly rub out the excess. There we have it. A couple of small, tiny little holes here and there. And look, for the sake of a job well done, we'll get rid of all of them. Just work the cement in. We can rub it away. Now you see, I only got this mold recently, a couple of days ago. So this is the first casting that I've done in concrete with this particular mold, and it gave, to my mind, it gave an absolutely beautiful effect. So a few holes. It's not going to ruin it. When you fill it back in, and it's very close to as good as new. Obviously it's going to be painted. Now there's a bit of one there, look. So this is going to be difficult for me to get my finger in, so I'm going to use my brush. Look, I'm just going to go up in the direction of, that's her hair. I'm going to go under the chin. As the hole is filled, you can't really see that there ever was a hole. There's a slight one here in the hair as well. Look, I'm going to put my brush in. I'm just going to move it in the direction that the hair is going. Yeah. Small one here. Swoop up close. Push it in with my brush. Go like that in the direction of the hair. And that is pretty much all of the bubbles. Almost all. Slight one there at the eyebrow. Push my finger in the direction of the eyebrow. Now, people say, oh, you shouldn't be handling cement with your bare hands. I appreciate that, but you know, if you wash your hands afterwards, they're not going to, I don't get burned from this particular cement. If you wash your hands afterwards, you should be okay. You certainly, if you've got cuts or anything in your hand, if you've got any kind of cuts or scratches in your hand, you don't want to get cement in there because it crystallizes outwards and bursts the cells open, all this sort of things, horrible stuff. You certainly don't want to get it in your lungs anyway. So there's a biggish one there at the side of the hair. I'm just going to drop the cement in there like that. I'm going to drop it in, and I'm going to take my brush, push it in the direction of the hole and off in the direction of the hair. Now, see what I've done there? Hole is a couple of little ones. Same treatment. This particular mold, absolutely love it. It just gave a really nice detail. The concrete mix as well, it was experimental. 3 parts paving sand, which I actually thought would have been quite rough for this sort of modeling. 3 parts paving sand, 1 part grey cement, and 2 parts pre-mixed concrete, which I was literally only using because I have it sitting around. I'm not buying anymore, but it's too expensive. But it gives a very nice effect, and it also dries very quickly. So there's our repair, more or less. How many minutes did it take? You know, from a piece that you might have said, oh, well, it's ruined, we don't want to see bubbles. That's more or less good as new. Okay. And then, yeah. Almost good as new. So I'm going to leave it to harden up for a couple of days. I'm going to wipe it. I'm not going to sand it or anything like that. It'll destroy the. There's quite a nice sheen on the concrete. So I'm not going to sand it or anything. I'm just going to give it a wipe. It'll take off the excess, and hopefully it'll stay in the hole and it'll bond with the concrete there. So that's our repair. Just for balance, this is one I've literally just pulled out of the mold. This was made of Herculite. It's the same, obviously exactly the same. The Herculite you generally do not get bubbles with. And you can see there's quite a good level of detail in that mold in the hair, for example. Now there are a couple of very, very small bubbles, but with Herculite it's a different thing. I generally don't fill them, but seeing as I have my cement mixed up, I'm going to, for the sake of a job well done. I'm going to fill in one or two little things, and of course it doesn't matter. I mean, it'll bond with the cement, will bond with the Herculite just as well as it'll bond with concrete. It makes no difference at all. Everything's going to be painted anyway, and I'm really actually looking forward to painting this particular lady planter. I'm trying to think of how I'm going to approach it. I mean, it really is nice. There's got the hair, the flowers, the face, all this sort of thing. There's a lot of scope. So I'm going to experiment. I'm going to try a few different color schemes and paint layers and that sort of thing. In fact, I was trying to make some brown paint to put as a base coat on something. It didn't go very well. I mixed green and red, and it didn't go brown like the YouTube recipe. It wasn't YouTube. It went that color mauve. So I don't want to waste it. Quickly put it onto yet another one of these lady heads. Now it looks a bit weird. I think maybe, I don't know. That's what it looks like now. Actually, it's starting to grow on me. So that's the first coat anyway in our homemade mauve color. So tomorrow I'm going to mess around and see what I can do with it. I'll probably paint the flowers around here either green or gold, something like that. Certainly dry brush gold. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, this is what I'm doing today. Just got a new Medusa head mold. Just pulled this today out of the mold. I think it's really, really nice. That's what I was talking about, the sheen from the concrete. It's just so smooth. That again was paving sand, bagged concrete, and ordinary cement, and it's just really nice. So I'm gonna leave this to harden, leave it to cure for a couple of weeks anyway, I think, before I start to paint it up. I might make a couple and just leave them as they are. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I have 1 or 2 pictures up on Instagram. The reaction to this has been very good so far. So I'm sure I'll make a few of them. I've already made a few of them actually. The truth be known, I have one here that I've painted. Yeah. This is just the black. So I painted this with the exterior masonry paint in black. If you just look at that, that's pretty nice. I think it's turned out pretty well. So I'm going to wait for this to dry. Tomorrow I'll probably dry brush the details here in gold. That's, to be honest, that's my favorite technique, for want of a better expression, but it gives very, very good results a lot of the time. So that's what I'll probably do with this. I think she's very nice. Okay, I'll put it back. Tomorrow I'll finish it off. It's finished the sheen the gig. It needs to be varnished all over. Very popular. Fertility, pagan fertility symbol. The woman with this extended vulva. I mean, I haven't sold one of these to a man. That everybody who buys this is a woman. So. What does that tell you? But yeah, very popular. And as far as I'm aware, I'm the only person who's making these, which is even better. I've got the mold, so I made the mold, so I'm making them. Great. I'm going to give this a coat of varnish, and that'll be me for tonight. Okay. Talk to you soon. Thank you.